Everyone
Hello,
was
welcome to
kidnapped.
Breakfast Central. It's a beautiful, brand new week reaching you live from the center of aquatic splendor at Lagos State. It's a wet and rainy Monday here, and we're reaching you live from NC headquarters in Lagos. I'm Benga Bora. It's been a very interesting weekend. We have a packed program for you today, quite loaded. So many people, politicians, are crying over the results of the weekend. And we need to go back to school, because I know NUC was floating an idea that you really don't need mathematics to do certain courses, but I think they should just maintain the status quo, because the way some adults are counting, it will show you that mathematics, and especially arithmetic, is very important. We'll give you details of this and more during the course of the show. I am Benga Bora. Over to you, Joe. Joe, can you count to 1 to 10?
1, 2, 15, 20, 200. We saw all of that. I call it the abracadabra over the weekend. That's what we saw over the weekend. By the way, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Breakfast Central. Quite an exciting weekend it was, even though it was filled with a lot of unwholesome news and stories. What's happening in Oyo State, where 45 pupils and the teachers, the vice principals were kidnapped. 3 schools back to back. It was a well-planned attack, and the principal were forced to make videos. The students were held in captivity and so on. That's one story. Mixed with the primaries, like Benga, you've mentioned over the weekend too. I don't know what stuck out for me over the weekend, but I can say a lot. Desmond Elliott came out to cry foul as well. That's another story where he talked about his security aides have been, taken off, and he's left alone. Even the DG of his campaign made a video and said he has, in quotes, potted. And
of his own campaign.
Yes,
wow.
He told Desmond Elliott, I'm no more with you. I moved to the other side.
I mean, I think
there's a lot.
It's a lost
Judith, good morning. I don't know what story stood out for you, by the way.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. This weekend was quite the weekend. I remember Friday evening, someone was asking me, so what's it like, being an anchor and reading and, being on television and reading the news? And I said, it's never ending. And he's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, it's never ending. In the next 12 hours, anything can happen at any time. So one has to stay alert and stay plugged in. And that's exactly what happened over the weekend. The politics was politicking. Insecurity was at, its finest form as we've ever seen before. It's taking greater heights and more brazen form than it normally would do. As far as we're concerned, seeing the patterns we've seen, when it comes to the schools that were attacked. But what's most stood out for us more than everything is seeing the videos that came out. It is heart-wrenching, it is heartbreaking, and quite frankly, at this point, unconscionable. And there's so many questions that are raised here as well. A number of people came out victorious from the primaries that we saw from the ruling party, APC. A lot of aggrieved members as well. We're going to talk about that. And also the issue of age as well. Are you 40 or are you 15? Only time will tell. Well, basically, as always, in-depth analysis we've got for you. And good morning to you, world, and welcome.
I mean, typically, you think when people falsify age, there's something called football age, is to reduce it. But this time around, we're seeing
increase.
Someone that is in a hurry to go
increase or decrease.
Why the rush? Anyway, we'll get to details of that.
I think we should just go straight to the story without further ado. In case you just wonder what we're talking about on this day, first of all, the footage you see there is one of the biggest stories that came out over the weekend. It's got to do with reactions that trailed the APC primaries. Now, don't forget that it was quite different from consensus. Some said, let's go for consensus.
Let's go test our popularity.
Either you go for consensus or you go for primaries. But some people said, no, let's go for the primaries. They were thinking it's going to be how it's usually done in different climes, where primaries, of course, you have ballot boxes. You have the faces.
They decided to use the option A4, which is, you just queue directly behind and everybody would see. Yes, it's out in the open. So, but the reality was different. Option A4, but The counting was
The counting was not counting. But let's do this. Let's watch videos and see what the primaries look like in different parts of the country over the weekend. Take a look.
60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, this one. 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 213,
Video. Number one. 250, come on. Video. Let's see the video. 312, 333, 43, Now 1, now 2, now 3, now 4, now 5, now 6, now 7, now 8, now 9. 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 156, 157, 158, 159, 511, 512, 513, 514, 550, 560, 570, 580, 1519, 1520, 1521, 1522, 1523, Honorable Pupils, you have to be the House of Representatives constituency. Be on the line. Support of our rep. Honorable Pupils, you have be on the line. And we want to count the line now. 1.
Serial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88.
Please decide and voting, you stand on the line. If you are not voting, please can you excuse us?
Gentlemen, interesting
Gentle
times we find
lady.
ourselves.
Interesting times
Yeah,
indeed.
we find ourselves. By the way,
I mean, first off, let's put up the disclaimer for the
Yeah.
kids that are watching. Please, that's not how to count. That's not correct arithmetic and counting. Please don't be misled by the counting and the method you saw. That's wrong. Okay, now we can start.
Thank you for that disclaimer. And let's also put it there in case we have the international community watching. Nigerians are educated people, please. That does not reflect who we are.
It doesn't represent us as a people.
We know how to count. We are well organized. What we saw there over the weekend was a complete, I don't know what to call it.
It was a farce.
It's an abomination.
It was a mockery of democracy.
The question now is, what really is democracy? Is
And
that
people are
democracy?
laughing. I mean, it's not funny because
It's not funny.
the decisions these people will make, their representatives, would have serious effects on our lives for years to come. It's a life and death situation, and then you've just made a mess of it. It's been bastardized. It's really, really sad. And these are adults. These are people's parents. What examples are you setting for your children? A simple exercise. I mean, why do you even need to cheat? So the beautiful thing about option A4 is you line behind your candidate. And from the queue, you've seen that you could do a visual representation that, look, it's game over. Let me not even bother. But why do you now have to count and inflate numbers? For what purpose? It's really, really sad.
Judith, I don't know if you have your take, man. I'm lost of words, man.
Gentlemen, I want to say something, and hopefully you permit me. It might be long-winded, but we'll get somewhere. So, in how much in all of the primaries, it means that every individual bought tickets, express forms, right? And they cost to the tune of millions of naira, right? And that means you have money in your coffers to be able to conduct a seamless process when it comes to the primaries. The counting is just by the side. Having to have those primary or the party members line up or in queues, including the Senate President, His Excellency, Senator Godswill Akpabio, under the sun, and have them with, what's it called again? The tarp, the poster in front of it is appalling, it is disgraceful, it is shameful. In a whole 2026, APC is supposed to be the shining light of what is brand new when it comes to Nigeria's democracy and politics. They have defied all odds and have 31 states plus the governors. They hold the House and they hold the... In fact, the ruling is not even a word. When you look up the word rule in the dictionary, APC is right next to it, right? And so with all of the monies that you have gathered, one will think that the primaries will be done in a seamless, less rowdy, organized fashion. But even the number 3 individual of this country is under the hot sun. It is disgraceful and shameful. That being said, now let's go to the counting of the votes. Because I queued up, does that mean do you get what I mean? Like, so they're in a queue, that means expressively they're voting.
Babies.
You know, yeah, it's just rowdy, it's shameful. And I pray, APC, that this is not the representative, this doesn't represent what the party really stands for. Just saying, because if it is, my goodness, what a shame.
It's a drama. Let's go straight to YouTube. We do have our YouTube comments there. Good morning, Judith and the gang. So says Moke Chukemeka. The counter was actually counting because what kind of nonsense was that? See, we never get it right in our time. Desmond crying out. We're going to go to Desmond earlier too as well. He never see anything in Two-Face's voice. Nathan Emmanuel says, miracle counting. Okay. Counting indeed. May God help our country and protect us from evil leaders. What is even alarming is the same people enabling them now, counting the rubbish, will be the ones crying about the hardship tomorrow. And that's the truth. What APC cannot do does not exist. He says ordinary primaries and they are doing this. Now imagine what will happen during the general elections. Michael Obiku says, you're showing one video, for too long, please show. Well, not one video for too long.
Don't just mind him. He said it was there for 15 minutes.
Yes, actually not one video. We just wanted you to get a glimpse. Not everyone saw it on social media, but people watch on TV so you can get a fuller understanding of what it is. Someone says, Prince Ajibade says, Olorobao. What do these people think they're actually doing? At this point, I think INEC should just hand over the certificate of return to President Tinubu because 2027 elections has been concluded. And then Mokoye says we are a joke. Well, just to highlight very quickly before we go on X, we need to rush straight to X to mention what we saw there. Binga, I mean, just like you started the show when you mentioned that the Minister of Education says you do not need mathematics anymore.
Yeah,
I think we need mathematics. We have to keep it. It has to stay there.
This is not a lack of. I mean, I was just being comical.
I know. I get.
It's not a lack of the understanding of mathematics. It's just being fraudulent. They're just being fraudulent. That's it.
What else? You know, in my popular saying since January this year, Nigerians are Nigeria's problem. Go and quote me.
Because you're not going to get South Korea.
You are not going to get Nigeria. You can't keep crying. Oh,
you're
Donald
right.
Trump, President, come and help us. No, that woman who was running from 200 to 550 and kept going. That is a woman tomorrow who would come out and tell her children, you have to be honest in life, you have to keep your...
She'll go to church on Sunday.
You go to church or mosque and you pray and say, yes, this is what the Lord... How?
There's a message here, guys, that I want us to read. Is on YouTube, right? It's from Joseph. I find it just encapsulates what we're talking about. He says, I have counted you in the studio. You are 1,000 presenters in the studio. Nothing shocks me anymore. Madness is approaching a nuclear level.
Actually, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 30, 50, 60. 572. 1,000. Come on. In this day and age.
700, 1,000.
Wow. Now, I know we've joked about it, clearly, but let's look at it from a systematic point of view, from a honest point of view, and from a point of clarity. If the primaries look this way, what would the elections look like?
Good thing is the elections are conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, which by its name and by its constitutional authority, it's neutral
independent.
And independent. So we don't expect this sort of... and we're paying a lot. We're almost hitting 1 trillion for elections. So
So there shouldn't be
whom much is given,
any
much
excuses.
is expected. Yes, they
It
say
should be
better
smooth
soup
sail.
na money kill 'em. So better elections na money go make 'em. Yes.
I don't know if we have X, but let's see what Nigerians are saying on X about this very sad development. Zico Abara says, and then some funny geopolitics experts on this space will tell you to blame the CIA, even to govern ourselves. See the embarrassment. Go ahead and blame neocolonialism and CIA for this one too. If you tell me that two truths can coexist, nonsense.
It's
and
true.
I agree, this is where two truths don't coexist.
Yeah.
I always say that there are times when that two truths thing doesn't work. In this case, it does not coexist. Iradia says, or more. So now rubbish counting then teach us. No, Iradia, no. It's not what it's not true. The presiding bishop, the mode of primary is not the problem. The human.
Yeah, it's the human factor in everything. It's the human factor. It's the Nigerians.
How much or what have you been promised? Let's take another one. Now, so now they do for here.
And
okay.
it wasn't necessary. Honestly, it wasn't necessary.
Just count. If it's 30, just put 30 there. Why trying to prove a point? And you know the problem we have. Let me say this here, since we're on national TV as usual. The problem is, anyway, let's take this tweet. You want to help out?
This is Austin Okere. He goes, what is funny is also funny. What is funny is also funny is that the APC, knowing that this is what it will be doing in the long term, cannot invest in infrastructure for direct primaries voting. I said it.
The point you
APC
raised,
primary elections is more like a, quote, let's just get over with this, end quote, and move to the main rigging. That statement there is from Austin Okere at Wales, Wales _C. And do you guys, gentlemen, do you also think that the human factor can affect the voting exercise come, 2027?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these people that have a natural disposition to committing fraud, even when it's unnecessary, when they now have the opportunity, when the stakes are higher, what do you think they will do if the opportunity presents itself? Of course,
the opportunity presents
itself. There's one thing nobody is talking about. The fact that there were cameras there and they were recording.
They didn't even mind.
They were okay with you recording.
And it's brazen.
They were fine. They were fine.
Yeah, and beyond the counting, this weekend was also a tale of had I known and many regrets. And there were many losers. There were some who jumped on the Peter Obi bandwagon to join the Labour Party. And when they got elected, they discarded the ship, the vehicle they came with. And, you're going to somebody's new house now. And this young man this gentleman is one of such
Let's
people.
watch. Let's watch. Listen to what he said.
Well, I have come to cast my vote for the election primaries, which is supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It's now 10 minutes to 11. I understand that it's long been concluded. So it's just for the records anyway. I'm an aspirant. I'm a sitting member of the House of Representatives. And the circular we had was that party members should come out at 11 o'clock to vote for the primaries. And this is the supposed location. But I think they said they are finished already. I don't know if they did it before time.
Good day, great Surularians. My name is Desmond Elliott and I represent you at the Lagos State House of Assembly. While I want to appreciate the president of this great country, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course the party leadership for allowing direct primaries to hold across the country, we say thank you so much because this is meant to test the popularity of all the aspirants across board. But I want to bring to your notice that intimidation, coercion, arm twisting, and forcing people to follow their own candidate is what is existing today in Surulere. Telling them that they will not be beneficiaries of some empowerment that is coming some other time. Please, this is not done, should not be done. We are all members of the same party. We've been intimidated so much so that a lot of people from the local government are being fired because they follow me. That should not be allowed. It is bad enough that the LGA at the local government already took a side months ago. The local government already took a side to to support a particular aspirant, I didn't say anything. But they were shocked to have seen the quantum number.
Okay,
Pascal
all right.
Okechukwu.
Okay, this is Cubana Chief Priest. He also lost.
Pascal Okechukwu. He lost, but in damage control, how do you say you pulled out of the race after you bought a form? Or on the day of the... he lost by thousands to 12. Yes, they said the word on social media is that village boys don't run city boy streets. So, I mean, they said primary is now water. I mean, I'm just reporting what I saw on social media. I'm replaying what I saw.
From talking on this set. So you always say it's Johnson led breakfast section. You're not bad. But in all honesty, this weekend it was loaded with so much drama.
Gosh.
We just saw Desmond Elliott right now crying that, I mean, his security aids were taken away from him. People were forced to support a particular candidate, by the way.
The local governments are taking sides.
Exactly, all of that. And you know the funny thing, the electoral law, the Electoral Act 2026, which was amended, actually makes it impossible for anybody to go to any other party now as we speak.
Stuck.
So you are stuck. If you lose, you remain there. And the multitudes that have lost back to back is quite alarming. Many persons, those senators you know, who used to be in the assembly, who used to be...
They're not returning.
They're not
returning.
Yes. Plenty of them. And Labour Party members, just like the one you saw, Ngozi Okoli, who was, like they say in the street parlance, they play on street. They told him he had to start at 11.
They had already
He got there at
concluded.
11. They were done, concluded, dusted, and he was shocked. How do you go back? There's another one who had left the Labour Party and moved to the APC, about 4 of them or so. One of them went there, and I blame the journalist for starting to ask that question with, how do you feel? How
do you expect him to feel?
Gentlemen, I remember when these defections were happening, a certain individual, and that is Sam Amadi, he is an analyst, and he did say this. He said that you cannot go to a party that already has foundational members who have, bled, sweat, plus blood.
Been there for years before you can.
And then you think that because you already have a position, you're going to get into second term, that the undoing of the APC will be this, right? Aggrieved persons and aggrieved members who either are not highly connected, because what we see is Baba Sokwe, his word is order, his rule is democracy when it comes to the APC. And we've seen this, and now it's happening, right? And I hope that this will set a precedent of less defections when you have carted into the party or into the house or in positions, all thanks to lower parties or opposition parties, because it's very clear from the ruling party that even if you switch sides, you are just a collateral damage. It's a long game, and you don't understand. Politics is a long game, so you have to understand that at the end of the day,
and be strategic.
it's very strategic.
And don't be short-sighted.
And don't be short-sighted, okay? Because ambition is really what the issue is. That's one. And then 2, and by far the most important, Desmond Elliott, go home.
As a Surularian.
No,
you have to.
I don't see where I live on TV. You already casted me.
But there's nothing he can do at this point. But let's say never. It's Wednesday.
It's
going to happen
right?
on Wednesday. He may.
Wait.
I mean, he's going against 2 godfather and great-grand-godfather.
Look.
And grand-godfather.
Never
so
say
2
never.
steps.
Gentlemen,
okay.
Let me see. And I hate to. I don't want to come off being partial, but we must say the truth, right? And the truth is this: everything isn't looking in your favor at this point, and you keep stoking the fires that got you here in the first place. That video that you made is looking bad, right? From a political standpoint, as a political strategist who have watched the news, read the news, the more you keep speaking, the more you keep coming out, the more you keep doing all of this, you are only stoking the fires even more. You are going against the very structure that put you in. And you're just one man against the polity. We've seen this with Ambode. He left. We've seen this with he who shall not be named and a current sitting governor. There's something here. You're not a governor. You're just a representative. Go home. Count your losses. Go back. Maybe
but Julie, at the end of the day, it's the people that decide. Like Joe said, on Wednesday we shall know.
On Wednesday.
If Surularians really love him, to go against, because at the end of the day, the godfathers or the great godfather does not vote.
For want of words.
It's the votes of the people that will count. So if it's popular, if they feel it's not enough for them, if they want him back for a fourth term...
Did they withdraw his, his security or not?
Yeah, but then...
The secretariat...
It's the APC delegates that are going to vote.
Have you seen the video of Bajapia Miller's mother supporting Bakari, the person who's vying for
the lady?
The lady. Have you seen the video?
Challenger, no.
Yeah. She put out the video and she said Desmond Elliot has not, she used the word, he has not succumbed.
She said every structure that even the persons who bought tickets have all decided to throw their weight behind her.
Except she said, except Desmond Elliot has not succumbed.
Wow.
Has not succumbed.
Even the mother
let's take comments on YouTube. Okay, so comments on YouTube very quickly before we move. We do understand our first guest is in. Thanks so much, guys, for clarification, because this didn't represent Nigeria. Rather, it's an action of a few individuals who are holding Nigerians for ransom. We had to do that because we are beautiful people. That's not who we are. I have counted you in the studio. Okay, we've taken that. Benga, I know you are being sarcastic about INEC being independent. We know how far. By the way, INEC monitored these primaries because it's part of their duty to monitor, so they were able to do so.
I wonder
as well.
what their feedback
Okay,
is.
all right. Nathan says, but these primaries are monitored by INEC. Yes, of course. Desmond, enjoy the soup. That's what someone says. Frank Obote. Cubana Chief Priest, village boys don't run city boy street. Benga, you talk this one.
Don't be me talking, I'm reporting what I saw on social media.
Someone said, this Benga is dangerous. He will look calm facially, but in his mouth, now tomahawk. Which one the village boys don't run boy street? Michael says, 14 votes now, water from Cubana Chief Priest to Cucumber Shift, please. Judith, the video by Desmond is bad. Not just looking bad, he should sit this out. He feels he's popular. Baba Sokwe politics. There's a lot to be said and done, and you can be guaranteed that I'll be looking at all of these things that happened over the weekend. Plus, the sad story that took place in Oyo State. We'll be looking at that as well. But thanks for the comments. Keep the comments coming. Tell a friend to always start the day bright on Breakfast Central. Is the APC going through an internal crisis? Because we do hear currently while we're having this program, even before the night, that some of the members in the APC are completely aggrieved and angry. We'll talk about all of these and more. Let's bring to you what our headlines look like today on Breakfast Central.
Top stories coming up. First is insecurity as terrorist attack 4 schools in Oyo State. We're going to have in-depth analysis on there. From there, we'll take a look at the primaries, the House of Reps primaries for APC, just right after the break. And afterwards, not to forget, inside, also just ahead of Labour Party primaries, what is at stake? We'll take a look at that. And lastly, also the NDC Aspirants Summit. What will be the fallout from that summit? We will bring you that. And at our final hour for the show today, newspaper front pages review coming up only on Breakfast Central. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Breakfast Central. The Labour Party has intensified preparations for the 2027 general elections with the constitution of an 8-member committee to screen aspirants seeking the party's presidential governorship and National Assembly tickets. The notice signed by the National Chairman, Senator Nnamdi Usman, and National Secretary Iheanacho Obioma. The party said the committee will oversee the screening of aspirants in line with the party's constitution, the Electoral Act, and INEC guidelines ahead of the 2026 primaries. Governorship and House of Assembly aspirants expected to be screened on May the 20th, while National Assembly and presidential hopefuls would appear before the committee on May the 22nd.
Now, the move comes amid the Labour Party's prolonged leadership crisis involving the Nnamdi Usman-led caretaker committee and the faction loyal to the former national chairman, Julius Abure, a dispute that has triggered legal battles, rival leadership claims, and growing concerns over the party's cohesion ahead of 2027. Now, with the party seeking to rebuild momentum after its strong 2023 outing, attention is now turning to whether the Labour Party can successfully manage its internal disputes while positioning itself as a credible opposition force.
Well, let's tell you that we do have a guest joining us this morning to discuss this. Ken, Asogwa is National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party. Good morning, and thank you so much for being with us here live from the Abuja studios.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. There's no gainsaying. The first question every Nigerian will want to ask is a story that popped up yesterday that was showing the embattled chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, handing out a form to another person and a clear statement that Governor Alex Otti has been rejected to run under the Labour Party. Can you confirm if that is true?
Well, I can confirm to the extent that the former national chairman of the party, who is no longer a member of the party anyway, illegally, without any ounce of power, handed over what he termed as a nomination form to some jokers who are few of these remaining renegades who are with him in Abia State. And we all know the game he's playing. He's just trying to cause some distractions at this point at a time that the party has moved on. So in straight answer to your question, he played a role that he is not legally constituted to play. Because as a matter of fact, there is a subsisting judgment that affirmed Senator Nana Usman as the national chairman of the Labour Party. And that judgment has been obeyed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. So we've moved on beyond that stage. So this thing that transpired yesterday, we've reported this to the law enforcement agents because the constitution is clear on this, the Electoral Act is clear on this, the judgment of the court is clear on this. This is a clear case of disobedience to the courts of the land. The Court of Appeal of Nigeria gave a judgment, a resounding judgment, unambiguous judgment, stating who the Labour Party chairman is. So anyone who goes to print a piece of paper elsewhere to say, I'm handing this over in the name of Labour Party, this is clear case of impersonation, and the party is not taking it lightly.
Okay, I mean, just to follow up before my colleagues jump in as well, what really is the problem with Julius Abure? Because there's a court statement, there's a clarity that he's no longer the chairman, and you've also alluded that as you look at the court documents as well. But why is he still bent on holding on to that space and that position?
Well, I think he should be the one to answer why he is so hell-bent on crashing the entire house just because he's no longer the chairman. He's been there for years, and when he was there, nobody disturbed his leadership until the court said, you are no longer legitimately the leader of the party. So, but we all understand what's going on with what he tried to do yesterday, because he's not selling this form elsewhere. It's just in Abia State that he just called some persons and say, I'm handing over form. That is not a nomination form. He's just trying to blackmail Governor Otti to see whether he could, because he's a blackmailer, we all know. So, and Governor Otti is not someone who cowers to that such cheap blackmail. So we all know the game is trying to play. No one has, the video or the picture you saw is not showing you where he has handed over nomination form to anybody in any other states in Nigeria. It's just Abia State, that because that is the only place that will have a sitting governor. So he feels that the governor has cash cow, he has a deep pocket, that when he tries to blackmail him, he will try to sort him out. But you can't sort out someone who is sitting on no leg. There is no basis on which he could parade himself as national chairman of the Labour Party. So we know the game he's playing, and like I said, the security agents will catch up with him very soon, pretty very soon.
Now, Mr. Ken Asogu, the last general elections in 2023, your party came third in the presidential elections. And the man that led that charge has since left your party. Do you consider the Labour Party currently as a formidable force when it comes to politics in Nigeria?
Our former presidential candidate in the 2023 election left the party on 31st December 2025. Yeah, that departure came with some bit of shock, to the party. I can admit that, yeah. But before his departure, the party envisaged that he was leaving, because the rumor was already out there that he was leaving for the ADC, from where he now moved to his current political party. So we envisaged that he was leaving, and the party, currently led by Senator Nana Usman, took a number of measures that helped us to absorb that shock. And I will reel out that now. A Labour Party is so unique a political party that it has institutional membership. The NLC, the TUC, they are members of the Labour Party, captured in the constitution of the party. But, when the SY chairman of the party was holding sway, he never reckoned with the labor unions. He sidelined them, and that was actually even what cost us the last election. Because when we claimed that we won that election, we went to court, we couldn't validate it because we didn't have party agents spread across 176,000 polling units in Nigeria. Meanwhile, we have a formidable structure in the NLC, in the TUC, the labor union, who are constitutional members of the party. Now, there is no polling unit area in Nigeria that doesn't have either a retired or serving civil servant. Every civil servant in Nigeria is technically a member of the Labour Party by that institutional representation. And in 2023, they came, cap in hands, begging for their members to be used as party agents of the party during that election. But the former leadership sidelined them and never allowed them to come close to playing that role. They see our former presidential candidate into rejecting them. Now, Senator Nana Usman has gone to marry that bloc, and the thing is working effectively for the party. Today, Labour Party looks like we are weakened when you look at us from outside. But internally, we are more strengthened now as a political party to challenge any political party in Nigeria to that top #1 position in Nigeria. So even though the departure of our former presidential candidate brought some shock, we have been able to cushion that effect by marrying the institutional membership that we have. Today, Labour Party is stronger today than it was in 2023. So in straight answer to your question, I can assure you that even though the departure was felt by the party, we've been able to fill that void, we've been able to close that gap, and we are stronger today than we were in 2023.
Would you say you are? Because, I mean, we saw the mass defections that have happened within your party in the last 1 year. We've also seen that only one governor is remaining. When you look at the House of Representatives at the federal level and also the Senate, you have lost many members. And so there's also the juggernaut that is the APC, but also emerging opposition parties like the NDC and not to forget the ADC. So again, what chances does Labour Party have, with the internal crisis that you're still battling, just days away from screening, as well as, the leadership issues that is still plaguing your party? Can you consolidate on that momentum that you're speaking of?
Well, we no longer have any crisis in the party. You see, let me say this because it looks like it's taking me back now to talk about the former chairman and the role he claims to be playing now. You see, when he lost in the court, the party constituted a reconciliation committee headed by Comrade Sadisu Mohammed, a very respectable member of the party. That committee was able to reconcile all the aggrieved members in the party, and they brought them back to the mainstream leadership of the party. As it stands today, Julius Abure stands alone. So when someone stands alone in expressing grievances, we can't say there is a faction or there is crisis in the party. There is no political party in Nigeria today where people are not expressing one grievance or the other. People are expressing grievances. As long as politics remains the issue about who gets what, when, and how, people must feel displaced one way or another. So he's expressing grievances, and I see what he's doing now as someone throwing tantrums because he feels displaced by the power game happening in the party. So in answer to your question, the party is stronger today. That we saw Abure, throwing tantrums here and there. It doesn't dovetail into crisis in the party. So we have consolidated on our new wings, and I've told you here that we went back to embrace the biggest structure we have. There is no political party in Nigeria that has the kind of potential that the Labour Party has. We never harnessed it in the past, but we've been able to harness that now. So as I'm talking to you now, the NLC, the TUC, and the affiliate unions, they are in bed with the mainstream leadership of Labour Party, and we're going into this election as a unified and united Labour Party. So I think I can assure you that we are stronger and better today.
Stronger and better indeed. Joe, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I mean, go on. You can go on.
I mean, as we're talking about, stronger and better, let's look at the screening exercise process that we have. We have people who, let's look at the other parties. The APC already, we know that the incumbent is going in, running in for a second term. For the ADC, we know that very big names, the likes of Amechi, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, all vying for the ticket to become the presidential candidate. And when we come to the NDC, for certain, we know it's going to be Peter Obi and Kwankwo. So who will lead Labour Party at presidential level? And what are the aspirants? What names should we be looking out for when it comes to the screening exercise for the Labour Party?
Well, there are people who have purchased the party nomination forms to aspire to the #1 position. And it's not just one person. They are not two in number. They are more than two. In order not to sound like I'm campaigning for any particular candidates, amongst the pack, I will restrain myself from mentioning names of anybody.
Yeah, but this is public information.
I'm the National Publicity Secretary of the
You can mention both names. You can mention both names.
You're asking me because I'm saying this thing contextually because of the names you mentioned in other political parties. So if I go forward to single out any name here amongst the pack,
you can name all three.
Name all of them. We have the time.
Who are the persons that have bought tickets?
No. What I can assure you here is that the party has zoned the presidency to southern Nigeria.
Okay.
And that's I will limit it at that because of the relationship and the unwritten understanding between the south and the north, that power will be shifting between the north and south. So we all believe that there is a need to retain power more in the south, at least for the next 4 years. And it is in the spirit of that the Labour Party has decided to zone its presidency to the south. So our presidential primary is taking place on 29th of this month. And on that day, the Labour Party will unveil its presidential candidate. And just like the way we produced Peter Obi in 2022, culminating into the 2023 presidential election, Labour Party will not disappoint Nigerians. We won't go less. We can't do less. We will always build on what we did in 2023.
So in other words now, Mr. Ken, can we tell Nigerians that Labour Party does not have anybody that has purchased the forms? Because
I said here that more than 2 persons have purchased the nomination form for the presidency of Nigeria under the platform of the Labour Party.
Mr. Ken,
yes.
my colleague just reeled out some names in other parties. If you mention the party names, you can mention the aspirants. Labour Party, can you tell us who? The other faction... The other faction of your party, when they joined us here, they kept shouting that there's a woman who has purchased the form and she's powerful and so on. Tell us the name.
Yes, I remember Mr. Raman saying that.
You remember, right, Winger? Tell us the name, and they just said, don't worry. Are we going to thrive on speculations?
Don't make me sound...
Let me ask you, I know this is a tough one for you because it's starting to look that way. If it were easy, I'm sure you would have just reeled out the names. And bear in mind
I said,
bear in mind that people cannot run to your party now, especially your former members, because of the electoral laws. Since they're there, they are stuck. They can't move to your party. So it's either, like the French will say, comme ci, comme ça. Do you have a reputable name or someone who wants to, stand in for presidency as an aspirant, or you don't have at all?
Do they stand a chance?
We have reputable names that have purchased our nomination forms, and the primaries will take place on 29th of this month, and we are going to unveil. This is just less than 1 week. Please don't make me sound like the FCT minister who said the build-up to 2023 election. Why are you in a hurry? Why? So please, I can assure you that this will happen in less than 1 week. And Labour Party that produced Peter Obi in 2023 is not going to do less this time. I can assure you that.
So, I mean, what was the big deal? Just before we let you go, so many of your former members that rode on the Peter Obi wave to get elective seats and move to the APC, abandoned ship, jumped and moved to the APC, lost out bigly over the weekend in the APC primaries. How does that make you feel? And are you open to, welcoming them back home like the prodigal son in the future after the 2027 general elections? Maybe lessons would have been learned. Because right now, according to the new Electoral Act, there's no going back. The door has been shut. They can't, even the prodigal child has to manage where he is.
So beginning with how it makes me feel, it makes me feel sad that nobody feels good when you lose membership. I don't think there's any political party that will feel good when your members desert your platform. So but like you said, lessons have been learned through this because, in the build-up to 2023 election, because of the wave that was created by our former presidential candidates, a lot of people rushed to pick up our party nomination forms, and we didn't take time to scrutinize their background, the ideals they pursue and all that. We were just handing over forms to people who wanted to contest the election without properly scrutinizing them. Now, it has taken us about 3 years after that election to build on that. And today, we are scrutinizing the people we are giving out our nomination forms to today. That the screening that is beginning on the 20th and that we are not taking it lightly. And that is the reason why our screening exercise is being headed by no less a person than the national chairman of the party. That is how serious we take this exercise. That we are trying to make sure that the people who are going to fly the flag of the party this time are people whose ideals resonate with the values that the party pursues. So, on the issue of whether we are throwing our doors open to people who left as prodigal son, in using your words, of course, yes. Political party is all well, the more the merrier. So we are here to welcome back people who have deserted the platform. But I can assure you that even as these people left, the Labour Party has been able to win back other people who are, who I might call refugees, who are coming from other political parties, who were displaced in this whole power game in other political parties, especially up north. And that is even where the biggest surprise is coming for the party. Because in the last election, the party was much more rooted in the southern Nigeria. But today, the spread has gone up north to the extent that even the statistics available on the ratio of the sale of our forms between south and north, the north it is resonating more in the north this time more than even the southern Nigeria. So the party is in good shape as we are going into the election.
All right.
Indeed. Mr. Ken, we must say thank you for taking out the time to join us. All eyes will be on the 29th of May. We wish you all the best during your screening. And well done for accepting the refugees at this point. IDP camp, could it be? Who knows? Mr. Ken Asugwo, he's the National Publicity Secretary for the Labour Party, joining us from the Abuja studios. Joe?
Looking forward to the 29th because as far as Mr. Ken is talking, masquerades, you don't see who's behind the masquerade. So the masquerade will be unveiled on 29th. Watch out.
It may be one. Anyway, let's just wait. Let's not speculate.
Just
we're
watch
not there.
out.
We're not in the party.
Fingers crossed.
It's just watch out. Like a movie scene.
So I'm also watching out for Surulerian's primaries.
Oh, Wednesday.
Wednesday. And that means the news will come out on Thursday. I wouldn't be here. Olive will be back, but it will be interesting to see how it will play out.
Yes.
No,
you'll be here.
Never say never. You have to be here. Regardless, never say. I always see the theme for today's show is never say never.
We'll wait
because those Labour Party members who had moved to the APC believed it was done and dusted. They were shouting on your mandate. They stood. They even went ahead. They purchased the forms. It was certain.
Feels
that
like
they were going to get it. So it's a shocker to them.
You're right. I'm also wondering, and somebody raised this issue in the comment section, like, being an imposter is a crime.
Right.
You're not the national chairman. INEC doesn't recognize you.
Right.
But you keep parading yourself as national chairman. Now, we've seen the way this cyber stalking law works. People have been picked up for less offenses. Why is Mr. Abure still parading himself as a legitimate chairman
and let's not forget that
the Labour Party? And what's law enforcement doing about it?
Right.
And even the legitimate members of Labour Party, don't they think it's a problem?
And also, I think his antics is also one of the issues why might be one of the contributing factors to the exit of the very person who has skyrocketed the party, and that is the person, His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. So, would you also say that whatever Julius Abure is doing is counterintuitive to the popularity or the momentum that Labour Party has attained or attained?
It seems it's working against.
And it's working because it's counterintuitive. It's working against the party. Only time will tell. But like I said, it's never-ending times.
Okay.
Never-ending times.
I agree. I agree. Another thing we need to look at again is the fact that, like our guest said, Mr. Julius Abure did not go ahead to sell forms in Abuja. He didn't go ahead to sell forms in Lagos.
Particular
went straight to
strategic.
But let's wait and see. Let's move away from that story. Let's go to another one now. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has declared the results of its House of Representatives primary elections conducted across the 13 federal constituencies in Rivers State. With Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amewole, emerging as one of the leading figures among the winners. Most of the winners who emerged to House of Representatives candidates are loyalists of FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, and that's what our reports find. Well, the returning officer for River State APC House of Representatives Primary Election Committee, Wahab Owokoniro, declared the results after the collation officers for the 13 constituencies submitted their report to his committee at the APC Secretariat in Port Harcourt. Let's take a look.
Just blown away by what I'm seeing. And so I want to thank all of you for doing our party proud, to gather in this manner, to do something, one of the most important things that any party does. This is the beginning of the long road to 2027. And already you are showing stamina that you're ready to walk. And not just to walk, but to walk to certain and complete total victory for a great party in River State. So, having observed this, we will be taking this message back to headquarters to let them know that the party should be proud of what you've done there today.
This is Obiabo Federal Constituency, and the current holder of that office is the Honorable Kingsley Ogundo Chinda, who, by the grace of God, is also contesting under the platform of the All Progressive Congress, APC. So by next week, we will be coming out to vote again for the governorship. Those who have picked forms, and we know where we will vote. Don't we know where we will vote? When the time comes, you know what to do.
In this case, we only have one aspirant, right? Honorable Party Shike, Abe Mule, he scored 17,968 votes. Right, Honorable Party Shike, Abe Mule, having satisfied the requirements of APC Constitution and guidelines and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner of the primary election and is returned elected as the Party House of Representatives candidate for Obiabo Federal Constituency.
A lot to talk about, especially in River State, but we'll look into it in a moment. Especially this week, promises to be very, very interesting. The primaries will prove who will represent and who wouldn't. Well, let's tell you what's coming up next here on Breakfast Central, on News Central. This morning, on the Monday morning, look at the story: terrorists abduct pupils, teachers in coordinated attacks on Oyo schools. Also, mixed reactions trail APC House of Rep primaries, accounting from 100 to 600. How come? Ahead, APC senatorial primaries as well. We'll look at the party faithfuls. Stay with us.
And you're welcome back. You're watching Breakfast Central here on News Central Television. In-depth analysis non-stop from 7 o'clock sharp. And we're taking it all the way down to 9 a.m. this morning. So much happened over the weekend, from the APC primaries to, of course, issues on insecurity and a lot of controversies that have surrounded most of this event that happened on the weekend. Well, I'm not here alone, by the way. The entire gang is here. Johansson, and of course, not to forget Benga Aburo. And now we do have a guest in the studio earlier on inside our 7 o'clock hour, we had a guest from the Labour Party, and that's the National Publicity Secretary, to talk about all that's happening ahead of their primaries, the primary screening come 29th of May. But we're switching gears from the Labour Party and now to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Now, over the weekend, like I stated earlier, they conducted and they concluded the House of Representatives primaries for the 2027 general elections nationwide. Now, while some states witnessed peaceful conduct of the exercise, reports show that others were marred by controversies. From Ondo to Imo and Katsina states, aspirants are challenging the credibility of the exercise.
Some accuse party officials of disenfranchisement, while others point to zoning arrangements that sidelined them. But prominent figures such as Speaker Abbas Tajuddin and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu secured tickets unopposed. Controversies highlight APC struggles to balance consensus zoning and direct primaries, as observers also say this dispute could weaken grassroots confidence ahead of the 2027 general elections. Join us this morning to discuss the outcome of the first leg of primaries and its implications for the APC ahead of the 2027 general elections is an APC member and a legal practitioner, Gerald Ekwunife, and a member of the APC, Ibrahim Oshinowo. A warm welcome to you, and thanks for joining us.
Great to be here, guys. Nice to see you guys. You guys look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what's your general assessment of the APC direct primaries that we witnessed last weekend? Because social media has been going agog with different videos of the counting, and it's led to so much commentary on the issue, and a lot of them were not positive. So it will be nice to hear from a stakeholder and a member of the APC, your general overview of the events of last weekend.
Okay, thank you once again for having me, and good morning, Nigeria. It's been raining, you know. It's been wealthy morning for us, and to start with, I want you to realize that, you know, and Nigerians to realize that, you know, APC is a very large party right now, having so many stakeholders, you know, ranging from, you know, member of the Senate as a majority caucus to the House of Representatives, also a majority caucus. Most of the state governors who are leaders of their states are also, you know, strong and, you know, a foundation stakeholders. So in a large party of such APC party, you know, it's not going to have it 100%. If you have a 70–80%, I think that's fair game in politics. Most states, you know, primaries for House of Reps are, you know, quite easy. You know, consensual arrangements, you know, have been, you know, adopted in most of the states. Most of the governors, I can give them, you know, at least 80 over 100. They've been able to manage. For instance, Governor Dapo Abiodun is able to manage the House of Reps. My dear friend, Governor Kivas of Taraba State, you know, I've known him quite a very, very long time. He's able to manage Taraba State. Southwest, Governor Sheriff Boriworo is able to manage, you know, the House of Reps in Delta State. You know, Governor Monday Okpewolo also, you know, ranging from, you know, for instance, look at even the controversial River State.
Consensus candidates, and yes, that's where it's tricky, because many people say it's good on one side, and the other, they say, you know, it doesn't, it negates the principles of internal democracy. So is there a uniform basis for adopting consensus candidates across the board, or it varies?
To be fair, let me, so that we can move to a very major and germane issue. To be fair, in your family, if you have 3 or 4 children, it's not easy for you, you know, to manage them. If, for instance, in my household, my daughter will always want this, and the boys will always want this. At the end of the day, sometimes I struggle to balance among 4 of them. But at the end of the day, I will reach a consensus. Okay, this is what I think is the best for you guys. So you're not going to expect a consensus arrangement in this arrangement by electoral law 2026. Is that you guys, if you have a 4, you know, contestants, 4 of them must, you know, harmonize their position and come out with a single candidate. If she's the best for us, we have to take it, and in consonance and in agreement with the major stakeholders. So it's legal by standard, by the Electoral Law Act 2026. It's legal. And where you don't have a consensus, you have to go into the primary. I was watching my dear brother Desmond, you know, challenging the former Speaker of House of Reps, my dear brother, and chief of staff to the president that he wants a fair primary. That's what the democracy looks like. Because you are a chief of staff to the president does not mean that a sitting member will not contest. But on the field, we will know who is popular.
Test your popularity.
We contest your popularity. That's the beauty of democracy. And if you look at the body language of the president, he has not, at any point in time, intervened in any state. I think I have that credible intelligence. He has not. You go to the field, test your popularity. For instance, I got a call on my way from Oyo State. My dear friend, we've served together, Pastor Eze Yamu. I was in 2019, I was in the state to conduct primary. I met him, incredible guy, great guy. He's contesting against the sitting governor, Monday Okpewolo. This morning, you know, that's what they call democracy. Everybody should go to field, test your popularity, see who wins. Somebody else, also in Ekiti, might be challenging the Senate leader, Okoyemi Bamidele, possibly this morning. So these are beauty of democracy. If you feel that you are popular, you go to the field, test your popularity, then democracy, you know, takes shape.
It's a popularity contest. Very quickly, we're being informed that our guest, our second guest, is now joining us. He's a lawyer, and he joins us virtually, and that's Gerald Okunife. He joins us virtually now. Good morning to you, Gerald. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Pleasure to have you. Let's talk about, you know, the process that we've seen. I mean, from our guest here, Mr. Oshinowo, he's just literally just said that, you know, we have to test the internal democracy of the party. Consensus is good, but also we must stick to the old rule, which is internal democracy and testing whether or not people can stand and going through fairness and transparency. So I do have to ask you, really looking at the process and all that's happened with the APC regarding the primaries, do you think that they have been fair, or they have stood the test of democracy for what it really means internally?
Thank you so much. I think undoubtedly APC indeed has stood the test, you know, of democracy internally. We have. Let me own it. And I say this, you know, with, you know, all sense of responsibility. I think, you know, the heading to this conversation, your station says, controversy trails the exercise.
Yes.
Well, I wonder if controversy actually, that's the best caption to put, you know, to the outcome as we are seeing it now. I think I would rather go with what I saw earlier this morning, a heading by, I've forgotten the was promoting the newspaper on your program. That particular newspaper says mixed wins, quote and quoting, mixed win and fusion trail the exercise. You know, I think I won't be that heading. The reason is this: there are mixed win, at least from us of the process, still early. Please, let's get that clear. It is still early days yet. So I would say there are mixed wins. Where we stand right now, we've not gotten, you know, nobody can say has gotten a full assessment of exactly how the exercise went. But based on reports, APC has done very well.
Okay, Mr. Gerald, sorry, I have to butt in. Sorry, I have to butt in. I mean, since your concern is basically on the header, as a news channel, well, we do have the report of how the elections did take place, hence why you have the header there, controversy. It's a bit controversial because of the many incidences that did take place at different areas, different local government areas. I mean, I'm sure you're aware. If you're not aware, some of your members were told to, you know, come at a certain time. And as soon as they got there, it was already done and dusted. They were confused. Some were not even allowed to participate. Some were not even allowed to participate.
Just to be clear, I'm not quarreling with News Central. Absolutely
no,
not.
I'm just
making
I just thought it's very important that we put it out there, because when we use the word controversy, okay, that's fine.
No problem.
Okay, that's fine.
No
so
problem.
Please go ahead.
No problem. This is how I'll see it. Okay. How many House of Reps seats were up for grabs in the APC. It's the entire federation. Has there been a very, independent, a very accurate independent poll to measure the number of complaints that has, come to the APC National, Working Committee's table vis-a-vis the total number of slots that were vied for? So that's where I am saying, for now, we are not 100% sure. My sense of what played out is that, to a large extent, APC has set, the tone. It has shown example. I like particularly the fact that consensus did not have a field day, so to speak. Even though if it had had its full sway, it would still have been legal. In fact, it would have even been best. But we like democracy to be fully tested. We want the people to participate. And that's what played out. So my sense is this. In isolated cases that you can actually say that complaints arise. I know some places in Delta. I know some places in Rivers. And it is isolated. But we are talking about the entire federation, the entire House of Reps slate, thousands of candidates contesting and vying. How many places? Of course, nobody would have expected there wouldn't be hitches here and there, complaints here and there. Politics being what it is, some people will come and like to play a fast one on their opponent instead of playing it fair and square. That is expected. So if, for instance, I'm a contestant in my Anambra State, and then I felt that the process didn't go well, or out of how many wards in my constituency,
Gerald,
in 1, 2, 3 places, just let me land on that, in 1, 2, 3 places, there were, in the stronghold of my opponent, something went wrong. Of course, I will forward a complaint. I won't keep quiet and shut my mouth. So if I do that, I would think that is still part of the process as opposed to controversy.
Mr. Gerard,
Mr.
Gerard, I just want to say this. This is an interview. You have your judgment. We're a news channel. So we term it controversy because that's what it is. Maybe I should show you the video of the counting. I don't know if you saw the counting that was done. You think that's not controversy? Or you think that should actually be acceptable? Or you think Nigeria... No, I'm asking you a question because... I'm asking because you're here this morning. I mean, you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. Come on. You're here this morning. You do understand how things should be done. And we have been crying as a country, as people that live in Nigeria, as Nigerians, that we want things to get better. And as a fourth, estate of the realm, whether you like it or not, our job is to report what really happened. So we've seen and spotted controversy within the primaries that did take place. Are you not aware that somewhere in Delta State, someone snatched the papers and ran away with it? So these disputes are not what we want to spend our time on, Mr. Gerard. We want to discuss the very key issues. So please, if you permit us, can you answer the questions and let's just move on? I don't think you may be in a position to tell us to remove the controversy that we see there.
I actually
please.
think I have answered the question.
Okay.
I only made a free opinion.
Okay, that's fine.
A free opinion.
Okay.
Mr. Gerard, let me ask you, how long have you been a member of the APC?
I'm a foundation member of the APC.
So, and that will be for how long? Because the APC is a coalition of several parties.
Since 2014. I've been a member of the party since 2014.
All right. And have you ever vied for office before since joining the party?
No, I haven't vied for an office.
Right, you've never vied for an office, right? Has have you thrown your support behind any persons in your home state?
At all times, even presently, I'm supporting candidates.
Okay. And how's that process been like for your candidates? Because there's a lot of critics have argued that it only favors those who are who seem to be politically connected within the party. Is that true?
And that is not quite correct, but I'm going to say politics is what it is. If I am privileged to be connected to the so-called highly connected or a big wig in the party, I do not think that the Constitution or the law is against that. The laws of our party and of our country also does not discriminate between the powerful and the small fry in terms of political participation. The law does not criminalize a big wig, quote and unquote, in the party throwing his weight behind a preferred candidate. The only thing required is that there should be a level playing ground, and the rules of the game must be observed. And that is why I say again, at the risk of it looking like I am criticizing, again, let me say, I'm not criticizing. I'm just giving my free opinion that the way I see it, I expected that definitely there will be complaints. I expected that in some places things will not be perfect. But so far, from what I am getting, if I am to take the number of complaints I've heard, including videos of where some magical counting took place, it is unfortunate, it is sad, but the question is, out of the total constituencies and the number of contestants vying, in how many places did such happen?
Okay, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Let's.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we want to come back to the studio because of our guest.
Our law.
Yeah, we'll have a guest in the studio. Let's quickly come back to the guest here in the studio.
Thank you, Mr. Ekunife. I'd like to come to you, Mr. Oshino. There was a lot of back and forth there, and I guess it depends on one's editorial judgment, but our correspondents are everywhere in the country, and we have our sources. But let's leave that aside. But many people have said, the way the APC conducted its House of Representatives primaries on Saturday leaves a lot to be desired in terms of the transparency, the counting, and the zoning arrangement in some parts, and also the general organization. After paying up to 10 million naira for expression of interest and nomination form to the mode of elections, option A4, they thought, being a party that has been in power for so long and haven't generated millions, if not billions, from the sale of forms, you expect them to organize better and do a better showing, since they're the showcase party, the ruling party, and many people will be looking up to them. Do you feel that following Saturday's primaries, that there's a danger that it might erode public confidence in the APC ahead of the 2027 elections?
Okay. First of all, I've listened to very good conversation between you guys, and first, I'm a nationalist, and I came into politics to serve from the state executive cabinet, from a financial sector. So a lot of people come into APC with different modes and patterns. I've been a secretary of the national, professionals in politics in Nigeria, and I value decency in politics. A lot of people come in without having the second address or what they do, or so opinions might be different in terms of looking at things. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what the primary that took place during the weekend is the best of all, because there's some things that the party are not really aware. For instance, the counting, very disheartening, but I'm sure the national leadership of the party will look into such or disheartening arrangements. Sometimes you hold up to errors and you move on, because I could tell that your correspondents are everywhere in Nigeria, even though most part of the country, substantially most of the state and hotbeds, So politics is not a fair game. If you are going into politics, you must, prepare for betrayal, deceit, and the rest of it. Yeah,
but having a background,
Yes.
having come in as a professional in the financial services, and from your experience in politics, can that culture change? Because they always say politics is a dirty game. Just yesterday, the former chief of air staff, Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, resigned he was going to contest from Bauchi elections, and he said, I am resigning from the murky waters of politics I don't belong to any party. I'm just a private citizen and I want the best for Nigeria. So how can we change that culture?
We could actually do that. You know, it's through legislation. And I think, for instance, you made mention of, you know, the fee. For me, the fee is, you know, exorbitant. It's high. But what can we do? There has to be legislation. There has to be sponsor of a bill. There has to, or probably not from the executive bill or somebody sponsoring the bill, pegging the nomination form of every party. If the National Assembly could say direct primary or indirect primary, they can say all parties should be between, if you are contesting for president, it should be between 10 naira to 20 naira. Let's say between 1 million to 5 million for presidential. If you're asked, so we will allow a lot of Nigerians to participate. If you are saying 10 million naira, a lot of people could not gamble with 10 million naira. Most people will not gamble with 10 million naira. So, if, for instance, I was away and I was watching one of the stations, looking at the guy. He took a form, a nomination form, and he was asked to withdraw. So the guy kept on crying. So I was shocked that, what are you thinking? So these are the legislation that we can put in place, which I believe, if 10 Senates cannot do it, the 11th Senate should come up with a good law that will supersede the interest of the party, that will accommodate Nigerians in different... For instance, look at NDC. NDC also is selling House of Rep for 5 million naira.
Which is affordable, according to some people.
Compared to the 10 million.
Very expensive to the local man.
Very expensive for a commoner in Nigeria. So these are the things that the reform that needs to take place. I believe Mr. President also should look into that to accommodate a lot of people. If we could say, come in, do direct, indirect primary. We are removing indirect primary. We are narrowing down to 2. Then the fee also, another legislation should take place. So these are the things that will bring in reform. Like what the gentleman they said there, you know, you must own up. You must own up. And if you are not prepared to go for elective office, you shouldn't go there. And the party also should accept some of these liabilities. If you are counting 1, 5, 10, 100, 200, it's absurd. It's not decent. You know, and I believe the party will look into it and, you know, audit some of these primaries. You know, in a situation whereby I'm taking a form of 30 million, 10 million naira, and I'm getting to where I'm supposed to vote, and the primaries have been issued over. You can imagine that. So these are the errors that will, you know, in a large party. But above all, from what I can see, maybe few audits will come in and, you know, reparations, you know, will be made to these applicants, and the party can move forward.
Okay.
The gentleman here is lamenting. I'm sure this is not a place where primary, you know, politicians can come in with a lot of dramas. I'm sure a primary of House of Rep will not take place. This is a ward level. So it might not be at the local government headquarters. I'm not sure, but, you know, some candidates will lose out and they will create...
Well, Honorable Ngozi that we see there actually was told that it will start at 11. So he said he got there.
You know,
they are concluded.
You know, I'm on ground. I'm on ground. I know how ward headquarters looks like. I know what local government looks like. He knows what he's doing. It's a drama. You know, in politics, you know, you look at every inch of the game to attack the system. This is a ward. He knows that this is a ward. He was elected under Labour Party, I guess.
He's a serving
member, so he has
APC.
experience. So you should expect a lot from him. Don't be deceived. You should expect a
But
lot
are there
from him.
internal... We have to go for a break.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, watching Breakfast Central, our guest today is, of course, Mr. Oshinowo, and also joining us virtually is Mr. Gerald Okunife. We're looking at all that happened over the weekend regarding the APC House of Representatives primaries. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, there's more. Stay with us.
So we have crisis in the APC as disgruntled members have continued to air their views over what happened this past weekend concerning the primaries, especially looking into the House of Representatives. Some have said they were told a different time, and when they arrived, it was already concluded. For others, it was a case of miraculous counting from 99 to 500 and the likes. But we do have two APC members who have joined us here. We have Mr. Oshinowo in the studio, and we have Mr. Kunife, who's joining us live in our Abuja studios as well. Let's come back to, let's just go to Abuja. Mr. Kunife, let's look at the legal aspect of this. For those who are disgruntled, those who have said all of a sudden it seemed like the mountains kept crumbling on them, even after they were told you will return back to the House. I don't know if you remember the infamous words made by the president while he was presenting the budget. He said, oh, I already called it the 11th Assembly. It was a mistake, but, you know, and they took it like, okay, he's got our backs. Hence why you had on your mandate song, people porting to the APC. And now they are aggrieved, those who did not get the ticket. Is there any legal means for them to actually, you know, follow the process and see what can be done?
No, thank you very much. Of course, there is always, you know, there are always legal means to address grievances of contestants. And every participant in the primaries of yesterday, definitely, none of them, you know, is a newbie in politics. Of course, they know the hierarchy of, you know, of steps to be taken to get, you know, redress if you feel aggrieved, if you feel that you were, you know, shortchanged, if you felt that the process, okay, did not stick to lay down rules. Number one, you forward your complaints with evidence, and I know there is a constituted, you know, appeals committee where you lodge your complaint. Let me use, you know, the example of the sitting House of Rep member in Delta State that you guys just showed now. It was interesting, you know, my fellow party, you know, chieftain in the studio, that he had his take. And that should be a pointer to us not to run with just, you know, whatever we hear. And that was why I said, okay, I'm not sure that the complaint of Honorable Ngozi from Delta State, that particular one, that's an episode. Now I'm going to use, you know, the adverb of condition, you know, if truly that was what happened, of course, a person like me will condemn it. I think, in all humility, you know, I'm not a baby in the party, okay? And I came into politics not just, you know, to belong. I belong to a prestigious body, a very respected body within the APC Professionals Forum. It is people by no mean individuals. I have served as the National Publicity Secretary of that august group, and presently I am the National Legal Advisor. In all humility, if I tell you the people that make up that body will understand, none of the members of that body is a desperado. We came into politics with second addresses, contented, having made our mark in our private lives, and we came to make a difference. We are a solid think tank within the APC. We stand for internal democracy, legality, and doing things right. So if, and a very big if, Honorable Ngozi was shortchanged, he was told by the right authorities, this is the venue for these primaries, and this is the time only for him to get there, and if his opponents play the fast one on him, he's not a baby in politics. He has what it takes to document credible evidence, follow it up to the party secretariat at the headquarters, that's in Abuja here, and find redress. I have no doubt that the good men and women at the APC National Working Committee will not investigate that and find that actually there is merit to his complaint and sweep it under the carpet. So that's just what I'm saying. But again, I said that it's interesting that my colleague in the studio said that doesn't believe him. I'm sure he has a basis for that. So the point is, just that he complained should not now trend and color the thousands of other aspirants that actually agreed to consensus and everything went seamlessly. The thousands of other aspirants that went through direct primaries and actually won or lost. For example, the celebrity, barman and socialites.
Pascal Okechukwu.
My brother.
Pascal Okechukwu.
He contested, and you didn't hear him complaining that he went to the venue and then
well, he had a different type of complaint. He said that the elders misled him.
So is that a complaint? That's not actually a complaint. Because listen, he engaged the elders of the parties.
And they chopped his
According to
money.
him, he gave them money or he empowered them, but they chose who they preferred. He chose to call it misleading.
I mean, that's politics now.
So why didn't they tell him that?
I mean, that's politics.
Is that misleading?
Right.
They should have told him that, look, we have our preferred candidate.
Let me put in this word. I came, I campaigned, I met my people, I gave them empowerment, if you like that word, or I gave them money, which is wrong in the first place, or depending on how you see it. On that day, they voted their conscience. Please, it's a matter of perspective. Is that...
It depends on how you see the glass. Either half full or
half empty. I do have. You said you're a member of a pressure group that is, instrumental within the party, and we know pressure groups, or rather, think tank. I beg your pardon. We know that think tanks also act as pressure groups, right? Who sort of serve when it comes to accountability, ensuring transparency and fairness across all sectors, whether it's economy, politics, and in this case, internal democracy within the APC. And so I do have to ask you about the controversies, or should I say the events surrounding the River State. We saw the presence of the National Publicity Secretary during the primaries screening, or rather exercise, the primaries exercise over this weekend, and that's the person of Mr. Felix Moka. I have to ask you, does the think tank see what's going on within certain areas or certain state chapters, and what are their concerns? Are there concerns about that, or do they also sort of align with the general consensus within the APC?
Of course, that's why we exist. We speak.
I'm going to add just one layer. I asked this question because during our guest in the studio, Mr. Oshinowo's opening statement, he talked about how some governors are the leaders of these parties within their states. Right? He made mention of those governors, the APC governors who are leading the states. One that comes to mind is Borno State. Borno State's governor has now actually pointed to who is going to be the lead, who is going to be his successor. And not just that, there is now a complete consensus, and everyone is aligning with that choice. Why is it not the same? And what does your think tank think about all of this?
I'm sorry, when you say that, why is that not the same? Not the same way exactly? Pardon me.
And particularly River State.
I'm not sure it is not the same. So here is what it is. Our party, officially, as it ought to be, we recognize that governors are the leaders in our states. But the fact that you are the leader of our party in the state does not mean that you ride on that normative position and crucify internal democratic practices. Absolutely no. And at my, think tank, the APC Professionals Forum, that's what we stand for. So, example, in Borno State, the governor said that he had a preferred, candidate. Mm-hmm. He has checked him out. He thinks he should succeed in. Our vice president is no longer, secret. He had his own preferred candidate. And he's a leader in the nation, in APC national, and as particularly in that state. Interestingly, politics being what it is, he chose Zulum during his own time. But I'm not aware that he imposed him. So he got stakeholders within APC in Borno, and then they helped him to sell Zulum. Now, Zulum says, I have my person. The vice president says, I have my person. I do not think that Zulum said, it is my way or no other way. I am not sure that Zulum imposed his supposedly preferred candidate on every House of Rep member from Borno State, on every senator from Borno State, on every councillor, on every local government chairman. He must have done what is done in politics: horse trading, negotiation, convincing people, building statewide consensus.
And you believe the leader of River State did not do that? You believe the...
I will be asking you.
You are within the party. You've been there.
I'm coming. Please, I'll answer that question. The truth of the matter is that in River State, did he I do not know. Because if he did, I will tell you, even though he's not a member of our party, if you tell me, given his position, his relationship with the president and with our party, serving as a minister in our party, even though, sorry, I'm going to use the word, he says he's a member of another party, I would like to believe that. There is no way, for instance, that the governor, His Excellency, Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers, can come out and say, this goes in direct primaries. All House of Rep members, these are my people, without contacting major stakeholders within the APC. Number one, our Vice Chairman South, Sir Victor Giadom, Senator Magnus Abbey, you name them. These are major stalwarts. You can't win a single election in Rivers unless we are just playing to the gallery without factoring in these major stakeholders. You cannot win for APC without factoring
Thank you, Mr.
in.
Thank you, Mr. Ekunife.
Let me end. There's a fight in Rivers, and we know that majority, I can tell you, I told you I'm a foundation member of the APC. I said that, respectfully. I know that major stakeholders, when Rotimi Amechi moved away with his loyalists from APC, those remaining that founded APC in Rivers State, I cannot say that they are all with our governor, Siminalayi Fubara. This is my personal opinion in Rivers State. And let's face it, in politics, you make sure you win election, fair and square. I am not sure that the governor there has built a broad-based consensus to have his way within our party, even though he is named our party leader in that state.
Thank you, Mr. Ekunife. I would like to come to Mr. Oshinowo in the studio. Politics is a game of numbers, and we've seen quite a lot of members of the APC that are not happy and that will not be happy after this primaries exercise is done and over with. But the good, I don't know if it's good or bad, but the general consensus that it's good. You can't just be jumping from place to place. So INEC has closed the window. With the new Electoral Act, they won't be able to move until the next cycle of elections. And the worst thing you want is to be in a forced, unhappy marriage. Because if we were left to them, they would have tried their luck in other parties until the final deadline, as we've seen in the past. What's APC's, many people have said that this is the beginning of the end of APC, that is, the ship is too big and they will implode. You've taken so many members and the foundational members are there. They're looking at these new members, where are you coming from, and all of that. How can the APC manage this number of people that will be unhappy after the primary exercise, and knowing that they have nowhere to go to? There's also a danger of them, sabotaging internally. Is that a concern?
Okay, let me start by picking from what the gentleman on the other side said about, politics. Politics, the first thing you have to do is to be a member. The second is for you to serve. And when you serve, you're going to meet with a lot of people. I've been, I served with Senator Obikunle Amosu as a member of, State Executive Council member. I've served at the national level, 2012 Presidential Campaign Council. I and Governor Ben Ayade were in the same committee. 2019, the same thing, I served as presidential and different committees level, and I've served in government. So I know politics is not about primary, it's about winning. And when you're talking about winning, you talk about people. Who are the people? These Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians living at the grassroots. I could understand that, the party is too big, and I have tremendous trust, in the capacity of the president to ensure that, he's able to harmonize different, divergent views, or else it's going to be a big problem.
But the president is dealing with national issues.
Yeah, he needs to, all politics is local. Yes. He must come to the local. He knows, that's why I said I have tremendous trust in his capacity. politics is local, it must come back to the local, to the ward, to the units, to sort the major issue, because that's where the die is cast, you know, from the polling booth to the, from poll PU to the ward level, from the ward level to the LG. And, you know, like what you said, I don't see the party imploding because of its capacity. However, I don't want the party to limit our, you know, analysis, you know, broad-based, good English on the primaries alone. It has to be about the people. After the primaries, these guys have, I'm not sure they have any other options to go to other parties, like what you rightly said. So some will stay in the party to ensure that the party loses the election. So that's a big concern for me. You know, I'm yet to, you know...
You're talking about the aggrieved members.
Of course, you should expect that. Okay, if you are locked into this marriage, the only option we have to do is to ensure that
the marriage.
we'll form alliance while in the marriage. You know, it's like a beautiful lady having a, you know, extramarital affairs. That's what is going to happen.
Whatever happened to a handsome man having extramarital
that one
affairs?
too.
No, we know.
Why does it have to be women? Leave us alone.
I mean,
I'm coming. Let me land on that one, because I believe next time I will be in my house. I'll be in my house to join you, because I think you know, the guy at the other end is enjoying more time.
No. We're focusing on you
focusing on you now.
What I mean is that, you know, it's a big problem. You've raised a very valid concern for any reasonable and responsible party member to look into that. That question was actually deep, if you look into it, because after the primary, what happens next? It's governance. And how will you govern? You have to be elected by the people. And the greatest mistake you could make in politics is to have saboteurs living in your house. So the president has a lot of job cut out. He will do his best, and I'm sure he's going to.
But why do you think is the president's concern? Why do you keep
he has to be his concern? Like River State, for instance. You know, I'm perturbed about what's going on in River State. You understand? For instance, Governor Fubara is not, you know, is not my friend. I love loyalty. I love, you know, I love people who are appreciative. You know, when somebody assisted you to a place and you get there, you know, you have to show gratitude. However, I am not privy to what transpired between Minister Wike and Fubara. Now, this is not the only time that a godfather and a godson will have issues. This is not going to be the last. Now, I am very sure that Governor Fubara will return.
You're very sure?
Very, very sure.
100%?
I will come back here. It's 95% that I will come back.
Date so that,
yes, you will invite me. I will deliberately come back.
18th of May, Monday.
Now, I will give you simple analysis. I will give you simple analysis. Now, Matthews Amewule is now promoted to House of Reps.
Okay.
Most of the House of Assembly members were not cleared, except Minister Wike's, you know, bodies, friends.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you look at the trend of people who are cleared for the Senate today, possibly it's going to be 2 for 1. 2 for Wike, maybe 1 for ordinary people. Now, it's not going to be fair for our party to say, after taking the House of Reps, the Senate, and you're going to take the governor. Who is going to run the election in the state?
There's an element.
I'm coming, please. Who is going to run the election in the state? It's the governor. No matter how you think Wike is so powerful, he is not the governor of the state. So we have to know that. This is an advice to our party.
No,
we must ensure that we consider the governor. You know, we must ensure that fair play, you know, are on the table. Please go ahead.
Mr. Shino, let's look at the issue here, right? The issue here is there's one person who clearly wants to hold power and maybe become somewhat of a godfather of the state, right? And that person is he who shall not be named. If you're saying that he's not the leader of the party, what he has done is he has created a rainbow coalition, that's a term that they use, between the PDP and the APC, right? If you're saying that Fubara is going to be the leader of the party, during the primaries, Fubara wasn't there. It was your national publicity secretary that was there. Can we pull up the video, please? And that was the person that was there. And there was a statement that Martins Amawale made whilst he was addressing the crowd and press. He said, come the screening, come in the primaries for the governorship elections. We all know who were, for their party, we know who are going to vote, right? So I say all of this, we're being signaled because we're out of time. I say all of this to say that we have to look at all of the elements that are here, and we must say the truth. Nothing exists in a vacuum.
Let me quickly respond to that before our time. So, you know what? Martins Awewule could express his feelings. You know, politics is not love affairs. It's not a love affairs. Now, if you are part of internal arrangement of APC, the best challenge our party is having right now is from the north. I can tell you.
The north?
Yes, the northern part of this country. These are the places that our party leaders and Mr. President should look into how we are going to pacify the north, ensure we capture our votes, because you can see Seyi Makinde is coming out from the southwest. You can see Peter Obi possibly coming out from the southeast. You can see one or two people jumping out, contesting. Adebayo, my dear friend, is coming out from SDP. So these are the major issues. Our APC politics is not
Rivers State.
Rivers State. Rivers State is just a segment. The last election in Rivers State was just about 200,000 votes. I'm telling you. So what I need to do, you know, I'm an APC member. Also, I'm a Nigerian. And I want you to understand that I am not, you know, going to be cowardly because I'm an APC member. I won't speak as a nationalist. Immediately I told you I'm a nationalist and I speak objectively. The issue I think our party should work on is about the North. What do we do in the North? What are the issues that we're having in the North?
But it looks quiet and it looks like everything is
That is how it's always look quiet. But the vote will speak.
Okay.
So, Mr. President should please look into that angle so that we'll move forward.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. We do wish that we had more time, but you've promised to come back as soon as Governor Siminala
I will. You will come back
wins.
Unfortunately,
we're out of time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, we're out of time. We did spend a whole lot of time. Let me use that English language. Almost an hour in this conversation. Unfortunately, that's the highest
next time. Go to Abuja studio.
Yes. Next time we need you in the Abuja studio.
Studio privilege exists.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Thank you for joining us. And thank you so much for being here. We'll go on the break. We'll have another conversation to look into on Breakfast Central. Stay with us.
Last Friday, May 15th, 2026, gunmen invaded multiple schools in Oriire Local Government Area of Oyo State, abducting pupils, students, and school staff in a coordinated attack that has raised fresh security concerns in southwest Nigeria. Reports say the attackers stormed Baptist Nursery and Primary School, Community Grammar School, and LA Primary School during school hours, shooting sporadically and causing panic across the communities. At least one teacher was reportedly killed, while several pupils and teachers were taken away by the attackers.
Following the incident, the Oyo State government ordered the temporary closure of schools in the affected local government areas as security agencies intensified rescue operations. Governor Seyi Makinde described the attack as evidence of a major intelligence gap and urged residents to provide timely security information to authorities. Police have since confirmed the arrest of 3 suspects linked to the attack, while efforts continue to rescue the abducted victims. Join us this morning to discuss this is security expert, principal partner at Monarchy and Associate Consultant, Akikumi Von. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mr. Von, and you're welcome to Breakfast Central. Yes, Oyo State, Nigeria. This is, I mean, we've seen attacks in border communities in the southwest and the north central, Ilorin, but this is quite unprecedented, and the scale of the abduction and the brazenness coordination of it. Has this officially opened the southwest region to a new theater and, you know, in the battle against insecurity in Nigeria?
Southwest one way or the other must have been opened long time enough, maybe just on their own agenda. This might be just one of the immediate scale to start it up, and it's a clean one. The entry and the evacuation of the children.
People might have assumed, because it's not every time you hear reports of abductions, this is unprecedented, the scale of it in the southwest, and knowing there are quite a number of military formations, and you know, you also have the Amotekun Corps in the southwest. For this sort of security lapse and failure to happen, who should take the blame for the abduction?
No, for blame.
Or why did this happen? What could have gone wrong?
What could have gone wrong? Three things, basically. One, the fact that we wait until it comes. We wait until it comes and we relax. And we don't have ready-made solutions for these things in place. So while I was in the waiting room, I'm just thinking, if you ask everybody, as much as we've been making the news, talking about it, I ask you for your personal plan for you and your family. No, everybody's waiting for it to come. Everybody's waiting for it to come. And in the room of waiting gives them a proper chance to prepare themselves and see which place is viable for them to infiltrate. But you should know that with the way things are going, they will have a script and they're looking for how to start up. Because when I looked into this, they've not made communication till now. They've not made communication till now. So I'm looking into it as it's either they've gone out with it and they don't know what next to do, or they just want to work with suspense. But either way, we're looking for the, they said it was the Oyo Park route that they followed. Yeah. They followed out. I think scanning should just keep going on. But the more time they have, it's not good for us, generally.
That's a sad one. But looking at the fact that this is not the first time Oyo State is actually picked as a hotbed in terms of insecurity, especially looking at the southwest. And now we see this attack. There are links to the fact that as soon as the governor had mentioned he was running for presidency, and there are also links to what was said by the Senate president, who also said that after elections are done, insecurity will stop. We have highlighted key pointers that once it's election season, insecurity increases. Is this actually a fact that, let's say, it's known by security operatives? And then why is nothing done since this has been highlighted as the key? Remember, the Senate president said it, and many experts have also pointed to it that, oh, whenever it's election season or cycle, you'll start seeing upheavals here and there.
So what's
my question is, now that they've pointed it towards politics,
yes,
that whenever it's politicking, election cycle, insecurity rises, therefore, what are the security agencies doing since they know that it's political season? What should they have done?
Let me be unofficial with this one. They are playing to the script that is set for whatever you're calling politics. What they are supposed to do, which is the noise making, the visit, that's how they are supposed to role play, and they are doing it. So it's going with the script you just confirmed now. It's a simple thing. We make the noise and we assure the people that, okay, something will be done, this, but from my training, when people like that are sent out to do what they do, the people that commission them to do it always try to tell them, reduce casualty. But they can't assure that. You understand? Since it's a role play, you'll be told, look, we are acting. It's not that you people should go there and destroy things, be careful. But they can't assure them of excellent. You laugh at me whenever I come on your screen. We are playing a script.
We're playing the scripts. Well, let's widen this conversation. We're being informed that the Public Relations Officer of the Oyo State Police Command, DSP Ayalande Olushola Olayinka, joins us virtually now. If you can hear me, DSP, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Heartbreaking news coming out of Oyo State. We've seen the videos now that is now circulating that appears to be some abducted victims, crying out for help from Nigerians. We want to know firsthand, the persons in those videos, are they those who were abducted during the school attack? Have they made any demands? Have you made contact with any of the kidnappers? Have they made demands? And what do we know about the victims that were killed?
Oh, thank you. The video making rounds, I can confirm to you that's the head principal that was adopted. the husband have been able to confirm that to us, that's his wife. And as concerning whether they make the demand or do not make the demand, I don't want to dwell into that. The video have been obtained by the Oyo State Police Command, and we are forensically analyzing the video. One, to determine its authenticity, and then secondly, to assist us in investigation and ongoing operation to rescue the adopted victim on hot.
Let's talk about the schools. About 4 schools, or was it 3 schools that was attacked? Talk to us about the location of this school. Was it on the outskirts of town? Was it within the town? How long did the operation take place? And had there been threats before now, or was it just an isolated attack?
Thank you. The school, there are 3 schools, but one school is located at the same location. That's the primary and secondary school. They operate together, and one other one is separately. That the community grammar school, CLA and early primary school, they are together, while Baptist National Primary School operates separately. That one in Yawata. Now Yawata and ACLA community, they are not far from each other, and they are communities, 2 communities that are of course close to Old Oyo National Park. Close to the forest there. That forest, of course, if you can recall, there was an attack there earlier January, and all thanks to God and all the security agencies working together, were able to arrest all the 5 attackers. So the forest also cuts across to some part of Kwara and the extreme part, Niger State.
Okay. Now, DSP Olayinka, you mentioned something about arrests. What do we know about arrests that have been made so far around the Old Oyo National Park, and what's the latest efforts to rescue these kidnapped victims?
We've been on it. Our men are in the forest together with other security agencies, Nigeria Army, the Amotekun, the local hunter vigilante, everybody, all hands are on deck, the DSS and all everyone working together to ensure safe return of these children and the teachers that were adopted. As for efforts being made, a whole lot of things are going on, but I wouldn't want to dwell much on that or to say much on what we're doing. But because it's still an ongoing operation, a lot of other things are emerging. As we know, the police command, together with other security agencies, the IGP was here personally, himself was here on the ground to coordinate the operation, the rescue operation. And we are doing everything possible to ensure that those who are responsible for this dastardly act are arrested and they face the full wrath of the law.
Okay, can you confirm to us how many lives were lost? Because we're having a conversation in the studio, but of course our studio guests just need support. How many lives were lost?
A teacher, an assistant principal was killed, and an Okada rider was also killed in the operation. The name of the teacher has been identified as Mr. Adesina. While the Okada rider was killed, his motorcycle was demanded from him, and I believe he resisted, and they killed him, dropping their own motorcycle. The motorcycle is also helping us in investigation, because we are working on that. You asked about the arrest. I wouldn't want to talk much on the arrest, but we have made arrests, and the arrest made so far are assisting us in investigation.
Okay, quickly, can you also, we did see footage of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Sadisu, meeting with some of the villagers and discussing with them. Can you shed light on how soon he got to the school, the police, and then what basically is being put in place to ensure that that community or the community is actually guarded and protected?
Ever since the incident happened, if prior to the incident, of course, we've been going there because we have intelligence. Of course, there's an intelligence gap that leads to this attack. However, we've been working assiduously to ensure that things like this don't happen. But of course, it happened. We've moved in operational assets, additional operational assets. Tactical teams have been deployed to that area. The Nigerian Army is on ground too, and some other security agencies to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order, and reassure the member of the community. The IGP was there to reassure the member of the community, the stakeholder, that the police and other security agencies were doing everything possible to ensure safe return of their children.
Safe return indeed. Let's come back to the studio here with our guest. We're wishing for safe return. We're wishing for a safe operation, that no lives will be lost on both ends. But in a statement, the governor, Seyi Makinde, he said that there are gaps in intelligence. I just want to pull that up if you quickly can. In the statement when he was addressing the people, he did talk about gaps in intelligence, and, the security should, step up to the plate, and saying that gaps in intelligence is why situations like this happen. We have seen insecurity across the southwest, right? Whether it's Ondo, Oyo, or Kwara State, and even Niger, but not school abductions. What went wrong? And are we going to point to gaps in intelligence, or is there more to it?
Well, gaps in intelligence cannot be left out because it's the key bracket outside of what safeguards the place. But when somebody says there's gap in intelligence, what I get is the interagency communication of we're working together. That can be the only thing I hear when there's gaps in communication. And this is not the time to push in these local vigilantes.
Why do you say so?
Good, because it increases casualties. They are not trained for it.
But they know the routes.
They know the route, but as much as they know the route, the operatives that are working with them, you understand, their differences is much. So it doesn't really work.
Maybe they're leading from the rear.
Okay.
And then the army is
ahead.
Well,
that works. That works. But to say because they know the routes, they go in, they increase the casualty, and the moving out ways are not.
How do we going forward, how do we prevent this sort of abductions from happening?
No, that's very clear. The villages should not assume the government can help them, as obviously they have not. And they should sit up with their own local arrangements of how to safeguard themselves.
So, are you speaking in terms of early warning mechanisms?
No. This is my village. How do we safeguard ourselves? They know how to go about it, rather than relax that this is far from us. It's very clear now that it's coming to everybody. So everybody sits up, all the vigilante groups, they sit down. Okay. If security consultants give them advices, they take the one they can make use of. But the local arrangement is very sure. I think this is enough for every local government or village to just know that, look, let's not wait on it. Because the people you want to wait on, they're not forthcoming. So you make arrangements such that every entrance into your place, everything that surrounds houses, then your vigilantes, rather than wait for the night or whatever, broad daylight, you don't wait for, what they call it now, you don't wait for money or anything to help what you are doing. The local arrangements are stronger than this. They've been relaxing because they've been laughing, hearing that it's in the cities that things are happening. But it's up to them now.
All right. I don't know if we still have DSP Olayinka with us. I just want to go back to him very quickly. DSP, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. We just want to quickly finalize with you so we can let you go and then focus on a few minutes that we have to discuss the security issues with our security experts. I mean, you're also the expert, whether we like it or not. The election season is here. My initial question to our guest in-house was bordering on the fact that many have always alluded to a statement that whenever it's political cycle, there's heightened insecurity. Oyo State, whether we like it or not, is a state that is filled with so much scenery. You do have arid lands, so on and so forth. Not forgetting, too, that the election cycle over there is starting to heat up. What is the police or the security operators, what are they doing to ensure that whether it's election cycle or it's not, the people will have their lives protected?
Oh, thank you. Since the assumption of office of the Commissioner of Police, CP Abimbola Ayodijo Bubenga, PSM and IPS, we've intensified community engagement and to ensure to educate members of the public. Elections will come and go, while our people will remain, and also to cooperate with the security agencies and give the right information as when due, so that to enable us act and work effectively. For the election, we are on non-biased umpire. We are preparing and collaborating with other security agencies to ensure that the election season comes without any security issue and goes without any security issue. So for us, election, we've been here over and over again. So we are working assiduously in collaboration with other security agencies to ensure that the election season do not brings about breakdown of law and order.
Collaborative efforts, indeed. Sorry.
DSP Olayinka, before we let you go, I mean, for residents of Oyo State watching, what's your message to them? And can you give us a timeline as to when you expect this kidnapped victims to be rescued?
I can't give you a timeline now, but definitely, in no distant time, they will be rescued. For the good people of Oyo State, I will encourage everyone to remain calm and cooperate with the security agencies. If they see anything, they should quickly alert us so as to also. We on our own part, we are increasing our collaborations. We are also strengthening our intelligence gathering to all bordering communities and all of the meeting with all stakeholders to ensure that as it is happening and before it happens, they tell us. If they see any strange thing, they should let us know.
What about the schools? Are they opened? What about the community? What about, are there police forces on ground and the school, is it open or closed? When do we exit?
The governor have given an order, the school will open today. The police officers are in the community and not the surrounding areas, or the other communities boarding the place. Additional operational assets have been moved to the said area and other sojourning communities.
I must say thank you. Apparently, we are out of time. I must say thank you, Mr. DSP Olayinka, for joining us today and just giving us, from the horse's mouth straight what's happening with this operations. Our heart goes out to the community and to those who's, have lost loved ones in this attack. We do hope for safe recovery and, no more lives lost on both ends. So once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we should come back to the studio as we look to wrap up this conversation as well. And we've seen lagging, we've seen gaps, but you seem to have something to speak concerning what you said.
Okay, let me pretend I'm not on TV. I'm talking to a friend. And if they've paid some people to act out what they are acting concerning politics to bring about confusion, that means they've paid them upfront. That must have been why they are not asking for the immediate ransom, so that the apprehension can be up. The police will act their part of looking for, and when it is time, one way or the other, they find a passage of releasing these children, and we that the film is being acted for, we say, oh, they are back, and like that. We continue to be played. If I leave this one, my mind is at rest. And now, we're not asking for all soldiers to come around. We just need mobile units and quick emergency response to be put in place. And again, how do we keep the abducted alive? Let's be careful how we talk. Let's assure them that we are waiting to hear from them. All the community leaders should say, we are here. What is it you want to keep those people alive? Then for the villages themselves, just get your own local approach of knowing when somebody is coming into your village and protect yourself. I think, to me, that makes sense.
Solid analysis. And lastly, just for the Nigeria Safe School Initiative, do you think that they have done enough when it comes to the intelligence gaps as well?
Now, all the school owners or school directors have to be put together, because what they want to teach them is not what you should allow anybody outside the school to do, to know. Because if they're going to have a safe room, it's going to be only them and the students that must know it. And they must practice before any time. So it's a security...
brief, maybe?
Yes. So they should be called together and they should be made to know, look, if you let this loose, it's not safe. The safe initiative means if anything comes up, do we have a safe room for everybody to run into? And they must have practiced before anything comes up. So the professionals have been calling to it, and the school owners that will sit on it should take it serious and know that's the only escape route. Then, for every safe room, there must be an intelligence communication outside the safe room.
Maybe like a button you could press or something that sends
a button can work. I know intelligence is very high now.
Yeah.
So every school, no matter what it's going to cost, whatever it is you can use to alert the outside security to come in.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vaughan, for speaking with us. And we'd like to thank DSP Olayinka as well for having joined us to give us an update and full report. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Which Way Nigeria is up next, and then we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers where you can call in and react to some of the biggest stories. Stay with us.
Today, we confront a dangerous reality. Politics in Nigeria is no longer driven by ideas, vision, or competence. It's simply driven by money, ego, kudi, owo. Today, a presidential nomination form is in one major political party cost as much as 100 million naira. A governorship form, 50 million naira, Senate tickets, 30 million. In a country where the minimum wage is 70,000 naira. What exactly are we saying to ordinary Nigerians? Are we saying that democracy is for sale? We're saying a university professor, a doctor, an engineer, or a young entrepreneur with brilliant ideas has no place in leadership unless they can somehow raise tens of millions before even speaking to voters. We're telling citizens that integrity and competence matter less than the size of their bank account, and that is dangerous because once politics becomes an investment, governance becomes a business. Those who spend billions to enter office do not arrive to serve, they arrive to recover their money. That is why corruption deepens, contracts are inflated, godfatherism become private ATMs. Godfatherism flourishes and public institutions become private ATMs. Across the world, credible democracies do not operate this way. In the United Kingdom, parliamentary candidates pay a modest deposit refundable if they secure enough votes. In the United States, grassroots support matters more than nomination fees. Even across Africa, countries like Ghana, Botswana, and Namibia have managed to keep their financial barriers far lower than what we see in Nigeria today. But here, politics has become an exclusive club for billionaires and political merchants. And let's be honest, the voters are not entirely innocent either. Vote buying continues because too many people are willing to exchange the future of the country for temporary cash, food, or drinks. The cycle is destroying the republic from within. Nigeria must demonetize politics. There should be strict legal caps on nomination fees. Campaign financing must be transparent. Independent candidacy should become a reality. Electoral offenders must face real consequences, and political participation must once again belong to citizens and not just wealthy power brokers. Because if we continue on this path, we will keep recycling mediocrity, corruption, and recycled failure. But if we remove the cash barriers and open the system, perhaps a new generation of leaders driven by ideas, competence, and genuine public service can finally emerge. The question is simple. In Nigeria today, can democracy truly survive when political power is reserved only for the highest bidder? Good morning, Nigerians.
Thanks for staying with us here on Breakfast Central. Time to go straight to the front pages of the newspapers. The phone lines are open. You find the phone number right there on the screen. Feel free to call in. Don't forget to turn down the volume of your TV set when you do call in. Our guest and analyst this morning is international journalist of repute, Mr. Habib Aruna. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you. We're going to run through the papers as fast as we can because we have limited time. We're going to start off with the first paper, Nigerian Tribune.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, yes.
By the
that was
way,
a good one. I mean, look at the prices. The disparity is like from the earth down to...
I was thinking of throwing my hat to the race next year, but when I saw the...
Next year?
For nomination form, 2027, I said, no, I can't do this now. Let me work harder in my journalism.
You don't know how they should enter. Go get a godfather.
Nigerian Tribune. As APC holds Senate primaries today, Ogun East, Kwara Central, Imo West remain contentious. Senators plot return tickets. Daniel Campaign Organization directs supporters to boycott Ogun East primaries. We do hear that Benga Daniel has said he's not doing any more. He has left it for Dakwa Biodu to go ahead. He said he heard from grapevine that there was going to be attacks.
So it's not consensus.
The supporters.
That he told his supporters. He told his supporters, please leave there, because he heard they were going to machete and all of that was going to come out.
They are one family.
But let's take your reaction quickly on the APC,
why
on the APC primary so far.
If you recall,
Are we expecting the same type of geometric counting
if I
that we witnessed over the week?
If I'm more than casual observer of Nigerian politics, 2007, no, 2003, 2007, 2011, when PDP was the dominant party in Nigeria, we saw this kind of thing. Just in the context of the monologue that we just read, these people are concerned about their pocket. If they are killing themselves, they are spending so much money, if they are even taking loans to contest elections, what do you expect? They are going there to feed their tummy, not to serve the people. You see, democracy is about serving the people for the country to grow and develop. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. They spend so much money to get there. And as long as they are there, their concern is about their pocket, not service. That is exactly what we are saying. So, as long as APC remains the major party in the country, dominant party in Nigeria, they will keep on doing this.
You said APC. You said PDP didn't.
No, yes, absolutely.
Shouldn't we have evolved as a people?
Pardon?
Shouldn't we have evolved and developed as a people?
No, we are refused to. Because the rule of the game has not changed. The rule of the game says you have consensus or there are primaries. But when the process is tilted to favor some candidate, what do you expect? When the incumbents are using their power to change the game, the rule of the game, in the middle of the game, what do you expect? Because if you look at Oyo State, for example, the governor is from East.
Oyo East.
Oyo East was the senator when became governor. And then once the last election, according to them, they allowed Daniel to.
Yeah, he also enjoyed. He was a beneficiary of the consensus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people stepped down for him.
I was telling my friends yesterday, I said, what do you expect? I'm a governor of the state. Of course, I should be interested in being relevant. That's what they are doing. They will leave office and go to the Senate.
It's not a retirement home for governors.
It should not be. It should not be. But that is what you are saying.
Why can't they take
that is the peculiarity of Nigerian politics.
Mr. Fashola and former legal, yeah.
No, those are decent men. Not everybody decent. There are some people that are decent. Now, okay, I've served my 8 years in office. Let me go and rest.
I want to know your reaction.
Don't forget that even Fashola was approached by the president.
Yes.
Tinubu,
yes.
For a position. No, let me rest. Yes.
Let's talk about what happened
with
over the weekend. Absolutely, the APC primaries. As a stakeholder and a journalist, you'll be seeing things from two different angles because you wear two different, even though you are wearing only one hat now.
The eye go first blow, you know, it's what you see.
Many people were surprised at the geometric level of counting, even if Einstein and the great professors of mathematics will be wondering what's going on here. 136, 500, 506. That was for the House of Reps primaries. Today is the Senate primaries in the APC. Are you expecting something different?
No, it's something that will play out.
That's a higher level.
They are not ready for a free and fair, credible process. They are not. They want to win by all means. And what is the big deal about screening? They've made it a big affair. They will be clear by, what do you mean by clear by screening? If they're qualified, the process is very clear. They use every stage to collect money from you. That's what they're doing. Even in screening. It's not like they need to collect money. What is the business of party chairman screening candidates? There should be a committee set up for it, and it should be a normal process, not making it a big deal. All the things they do it this way so that they want to.
What do you also make
for the boys?
Option A4. People say it's clear that that's what we did during June 12, and it makes you see who is supporting who for the primary elections. What do you make of it?
Option A1 is not bad.
But it was option A4 that was making them count Joe.
To make it easier for them. That was they decided to adopt option A4.
After selling for
very effective during
after buying forms for 50 million.
And now choosing cheap.
I'll now show them nobody. Nobody will stay behind my back.
I thought our democracy is abracadabra. Abracadabra. If you remember, there's an incident during the Third Republic or Second Republic, Bemudia in Edo State, in Bende State.
Yes.
Entered the primaries on the program of MPN. After counting the votes, the opponent only got one vote. So the man was not asking people. I was saying that my family did not vote for me.
Also, it happened in
Ogubuja Ogumida gave us the story when I went to interview him before he died.
I think it was also in 2019.
In his house in the Koyi. My boss entered the wedding and the Greek of
his family told him, but
yes,
that
I'm saying that my family don't vote for me. So it's all about Kaduna.
That incident also happened again. I don't know if it was in 2019 or earlier. I don't know which of the levels. But in spite of the party faithfuls of this party, I don't know if it was the SDP, I can't remember now, or the ACC, something, the votes did not even tally the own party members, right? So are you saying that even my own party members at the general elections did not go to vote for me? You know,
that's a big problem.
It's a big issue.
Let's go to the second biggest story in the paper. We have it in the Nigerian Tribune, but like I said, we do not have time. So let's just go to, let's see, we have that same story. Okay, let's stick to Nigerian Tribune. I think that's the only paper that has it that we picked. Abducted Oyo School principal, teacher, and videos appeal for rescue of students.
This is
sad one, Oyo State.
Scary and frightening.
45.
Scary. Because I was asking people, how did they manage? Where did they escape to?
All right.
How did they manage to carry all of them through the town or the village?
Apparently, it's a border town, right?
Yeah.
And it's close to a forest and has a pathway to
the Oyo State government was not proactive enough. We don't react when we know it's late. These guys, you see, when you know that there are some porous villages,
you give them extra,
along the border of Kwara State. We have Amoteku. We have this paramilitary
forest guards.
Forest guards. They have been deployed before now, not reacting after they've left. But I think it will be a lesson. I think it will not be what is going on in Kwara State. It's not happening in Oyo State. I can tell you that. Yoruba will not allow it. It will not happen.
Afenifere raises alarm and says Yoruba land is now under siege.
I know they will react appropriately. And I can show you that those guys will be back.
But Afenifere now is saying that the Yoruba lands are under siege.
No, yes. The
southwest.
That is an alarm.
Is that being alarmed or is a one-off incident?
These politicians are just concerned with politics.
You know,
other things that are
sorry to butt in.
Like all important.
It will shock you. I've spent the past 15 minutes. I don't know if I was even caught by the camera. I've been trying to scroll through the president's X page and by Onanuga. There has been no mention.
I've not had any
international press would.
I've not had any.
Of Oyo State
everywhere they want. What is going on?
So I'm wondering, is the presidency
not... The world will be worried that you let pupils and teachers the mercy of terrorists, bandits. What is going on in this country? No, it's frightening. And coming down to south now, to southwest, many villages and towns in Kwara State are deserted. Nobody is there.
Yes.
Even many Obas have.
Then what is the meaning of governance? Governance is about security. Securing people and property. That's it. And think of the welfare.
The Senate president jokingly said, while laughing, that after elections, everything will calm down.
No, that is Akpabio's simplifying things that are serious. A joker in many ways. So it's all the thing we are saying is being perpetrated by opposition. I don't think so. I think it's a serious thing, and I think government should sit up and address it.
The PRO of the Oyo State Command, DSP Olayenka, joined us earlier, and he talked about two things stood out for me. Number one was that he refused to divulge what they are, or whether or not they made demands for ransom, the amount of the ransom it could be, or even what the operative were looking like, what the operations would be like, which, of course, we understand it has to be of secrecy. But I must ask you what should be critical in this operation in trying to rescue the abducted individuals that was kidnapped during this exercise. Because the video of the the principal and another individual has now circulated on social media. Forensic investigations should go into which account first shared that video. How did they come about the video, right? So you've been you're in the news, you know what's going on. What are some critical issues that the police should be focusing on in terms of their forensic investigation, and what have we left out of the table that have got to this point?
I think all options should be on the table in this case. We can negotiate with them.
Isn't negotiation already frowned upon?
As even you are negotiating with them, you are using your force, you are spreading your net. They can't escape. This is not Sambisa Forest. I can tell you that. They cannot escape it. And I'm sure this was also watching. the IG.
Yeah, he was there.
Yes.
Yeah,
they will handle it. Those guys will be taken care of. But then, what I say is frightening is that we are seeing these guys, they are coming to the southwest gradually. And that should give all of us a lot of concern. But I agree with you that they will not want, the people there will not want to divulge anything that they are doing. But this is not east, not central. No, this is Oyo State. Oyo Ibadan is the capital of the Western region. They will not allow this thing to stay. All of us will be, I'm sure, we put in place to rescue people that are abducted and prevent occurrence in the future. It's very, very important. But I'm disappointed that the federal government has not issued a release. The president's,
No release up until now, since when we started the Breakfast Central.
The police are working, I can assure because this will not sleep on it.
And this happened on Friday, didn't it? Maybe the president is still trying to recover from, from the 1 week of, going to scour for investors.
The president should not be the one talking. The president has handlers.
Yeah, but even
handlers should be the one. I should be the one to be given the green card, the green light to go ahead and issue a statement to show that we know what is going on. We're not sleeping on it. Appropriate authorities are working.
Isn't that playing to the gallery?
For the release, absolutely.
But statements is playing to the gallery. You might as well not play if you're not doing anything.
I'm sure they're working on that. No, they're doing something.
Okay.
I need something.
Okay. All right. The Punch. Let's do the Punch. Let's do the Punch. The Punch newspaper. It still has that story. Oyo school attack. Senate. Yoruba leaders demand action as distress videos emerge. This morning we're hearing that another teacher has been killed, unconfirmed yet. It's circulating on social media now. We can't confirm that story, but if we do, definitely you can trust us. We'll bring it to you. But let's take this big one, though we talked about it this morning. OT, LP reject Abure's 2027 nomination form sale. Is Abure just one who is adamant or hell-bent?
And is this not false representation? Why would you be selling for?
Abure is to Labour Party as Wike is to PDP.
You know what? Maybe. You know what?
Yes.
You make a fair point.
If he's not comfortable with my opinion, then he can do the needful. Wike is helping in destroying PDP. You are supporting President Tinubu and you are destroying the party.
But why would you want to destroy a house that you built?
Abure is someone that was planted to destroy Labour Party. Don't forget that he was the one that caused the division that led to the exit of Peter Obi. And he's still doing it. Even went to Supreme Court, came out with a judgment affirming the
Nenadi led,
Nenadi Osman, what's her name?
Yes, Nenadi Osman, you're correct.
What is wrong with Abure?
But why is he the one destabilizing the house that he built? I'm confused.
Did he build any house?
No. I mean, based on off of his leadership, right?
Abure,
and is somewhat of
Abure from the word go have been issue of better destroy the party.
Compare Abure to Papa.
To make it not formidable enough to put a threat.
Is that not Lamido Apapa? Should not be Lamido Apapa? Because even under his,
that is something. No, but where is he now? Papa has gone to sleep.
Right, that's what I'm saying, right?
So Abure is still there.
Anyone who
make sure that there will be no peace in the Labour Party. That's what I do.
What do you make of the fact that Seyi Makinde is about to run under APM? FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is supporting the APC, even though they say they have one loner, one person who's coming out in the PDP. But now, just this morning, news circulated, I'm sure the papers didn't pick it up quite early, that President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is about to be screened tomorrow, allegedly, under the Turaki-led faction.
I think we have Makinde's coming out to contest. It's a joke taken too far.
Why do you say that?
Fine, thank you. What are his chances? The man is a joker. To contest under which party?
He's a governor.
Under APM. And to win where?
Two-term governor of Oyo State.
Where's the structure?
And they say he has performed well.
Where are the strategic alliances? Where are the signs that he can even put a threat? These guys, they have enough money in their pocket to waste. I've been too much on this terrain to know that back in the day, it's just a joker. People that are serious to contest elections are Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Kwakwaso, and President Tinubu. Some people are even saying that back in the day, is working directly for Tinubu's re-election. But the man is just looks to me. I was in Oyo State during the weekend. People see him as someone that is not only a comedian. Want to contest with presidency.
Those are strong terms.
Which party? Your party is in disarray. Now pick you and about your governor are the one controlling the new one. ARM or APM.
APM.
APM. I'm going to put a threat.
What's our the friendship?
Do that personal structure to consummate the presidential project. It's like it's
but
not there.
Peter Obi didn't have any structure before 2023.
Labour Party.
Go back compare Obi. Obi is.
I mean, you can't tell until it happens.
One of the cars that carry the people like Obi don't pass this way all the time. Obi is a different person. The
But
last
you
election,
would never have predicted.
I normally vote here out of your office.
Yes.
Yes.
But I register here. The last one when Obi was contesting, by 11 a.m., 12 a.m., APC knew that they've lost. Here, over there.
Yeah, because APC lost.
I was interviewing some people. There was a young woman from Oyo State. They live at College Road. She came down. She walked down. I told her, "Why are you doing?" She said, "Yes, I want to make sure that Obi wins."
Wait.
But the first time I'm voting, people were galvanized. People were determined to make sure that Obi wins.
The same way they
But it's different now. It's a different scenario now. But Obi,
nobody knows.
Even at that, Obi could not build a national alliance.
Because,
a national structure.
Because, like you said, there were some people who were in the party that were hell bent on this.
That this time around. The last one,
okay,
they didn't succeed.
Okay.
It was that realization that made the power that be
to become
with
fire.
To fire in Labour Party. So that auspice is not be strong enough for him.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice at the same spot. Do you think he stands the same chance and momentum to even do better this time around with the NDC?
Obi is a popular candidate, but popularity does not translate to vote.
But I thought elections were popularity contests.
Enough to form alliance, which is doing. So they should have enough structure. They don't have enough structure to make any strong showing at the presidential election. They don't have that structure. Not like Atuku is popular too.
And even
they cannot. But as I've been saying, they must come together. The opposition under an umbrella with a strong candidate that is credible and electable to pose a threat to the.
What's our the relationship
even Obi
between?
Kubana is not supporting Obi, he's supporting APC.
What's our the relationship between Wike and Seyi Makinde? The reason why I asked this question, and hopefully you can answer very quickly, is that we saw him as part of G5. They seem to have been, birds of the same feather. They were very tight. So what changed in that time?
They weren't
correct. Fine question. Recently, but 3-4 months ago, Makinde was interviewed. Makinde said, Wike did not discuss with them, the G5, that they be supported to almost re-election.
So he was blindsided?
Absolutely. That they did not discuss with them. And that he decided to do it alone. That's what caused that division.
I see.
And that's what caused and ultimately the breakup of the PDP. And that's why they are a mess.
Well, only time will tell. I must say thank you, Mr. Aruna, for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Abibaran. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Fantastic analysis.
Yeah.
As always. And this is where we draw the curtain.
Before we go, our hearts are with those who have been kidnapped, who have been abducted, 45, and of course, a number of teachers. Yeah. We do hope that the wisdom will be applied, especially by the Nigerian police force and the security operatives, Amotekun and the likes, to rescue them. Hopefully, when we come back tomorrow, we'll have some good news, right?
Indeed. Fingers crossed. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. And happy birthday to Catherine Obiang. Yes, it was her birthday yesterday.
All right.
And it was last 2 weeks, every time.
Every time.
You have to be careful
this
this
time
month.
around. You can watch her live on Just